Hi everyone, so I'm back here taking a walk outside my home. So yeah, I had a pretty good dinner. Made kafta, something that was pretty much akin to what supposedly Vlad Tepes Count Dracula used to eat. I mean the historical Count Dracula, which was beef, like the beef skewers with that particular with onions and herbs and all these different things and all these spices. So and supposedly you have it with sourdough bread, which I didn't have, and wine, red wine, but I also didn't have that. But anyway, okay, I wanted to just make this video right now while I'm actually walking, and also to not just to clear some thoughts, but to also process some of the things that actually went on through my mind. Because I said that over the last few weeks, I haven't been making any videos about all these kind of things with narcissistic abuse, PTSD recovery, and things like that. And I actually, to be honest, I have been spending the last few months over this last piece of last year and over this one whole year, everything, cutting off people. Yeah, I enjoy it actually, because initially I was wondering, am I being too sensitive or overreacting? But then I realized that some people don't deserve to be in my life. When the relationship as a friendship comes to toxic and negative, and their boundaries being broken, it will actually cause a lot of inconvenience to you, and that kind of energy is going to be a very bad loop. Cause a negative feedback loop, which will in fact affect your health. And as you can see, down here I got a blister here. It's all from the lack of water. And I've been, ever since the competition, I've been trying to drink water again, but as much as I can. But still, even then, all the heatiness and all eating all stuff here. But so that was the kind of thing. I think that whole realization and everything made me decide, that's it. Enough is enough. So yeah, I'm just gonna make this video, okay, about something else. But it's related. It's about whole thing concerning things that we need to start coming down to face. Sometimes we can't keep on being in this very delusional state, saying that that people are good. And I'll be honest, some people are not good. They're actually really, if they are not, even if they're not evil, deep down inside they're not good. Okay. Some people are wicked, some people are evil, some people are selfish, and that's just the way, This is the thing about wisdom, because that in psychology, this is the idea that everyone essentially has something good you can use as a kind of like a way to break through those people. But I don't believe it, because honestly, after the experience with narcissists, the experience with SA 9 years ago, everything, and the fact that these people turn even friends against me, you know what? I don't forgive them. Okay. So, but let's get back to the whole thing. This topic, I wanted to talk about this because there are some things that we need to get down to and like start realizing if we really want our life to actually improve. Okay. So some of these kind of things that there's no going around like in circles about that and pretending that they don't matter. So some of the things like, okay, one of the few things that I kind of realized was this. It was something that I realized when I was watching this interview by Oprah Winfrey of Deepak Chopra. He said that it's a very new age hodgepodge thing. He said that eating with the wrong person with the wrong energy around you would cause you your health. Okay. He was using something that was some experiment about mice or animals which are very fat, poison, and how being in a state of happiness will lead you to metabolize the poison or cholesterol differently. And okay, so it's a little bit of a hodgepodge thing, but it just kind of makes sense if you think about it. And I kind of realize that sometimes, people, this is the number one fact. Some people are not of your tribe. They are not of our tribe. They're not of our, our allies. It doesn't matter. They can smile at you. That one verse from Hamlet. That one may smile and be a villain. Hamlet was referring to his uncle, Claudius, who actually had murdered his father. Okay, in cold blood by pouring poison into the ears, which caused his father to die even before being confessed of his sins. And there was this indication that the father's ghost was probably in purgatory or hell. It wasn't very clear, but because he was unconfessed, so it's very likely that his father's ghost was actually, Prince Hamlet's father's ghost was in hell. Okay, it's very, very likely, because he talked about this tale that will cause the blood to curdle when you start hearing what has happened. So this whole thing about, one thing is that we want to, be friends with everyone, but is it really that possible? Because I think that ultimately you can't be friends with anyone, and if you were to really start realizing, that you need to recover, you protect your space even more, and we protect your space even more. Some people would not. They wouldn't fit that kind of. They wouldn't match your energy. They wouldn't match your standards and your values, and that's when you actually realize, nah. Even you smile at me, you can be nice to me, but how do I know yet if you are actually trying to undermine my values? And I'll tell you honestly, I had one such friend whom I first knew when I just got out of that narcissistic relationship or situationship. Okay, I was being discarded and everything, but it's fine. Back then, sometimes when you know the person, they are who they are, and they don't mean any harm. It's fine, but I realized that as time went by, the last 1 or 2 years, that friend has been very negative to me. Very particularly, like he tried to do certain things, like talking stuff to, it's like talking down to me. I'm older than you, for fuck's sake. I'm older than you. You are in no position to tell me what I'm supposed to believe or not believe. Okay? And it applies to political beliefs too. And I probably don't think that everyone knows that, but I stand with Israel. I'm a Zionist. Yes. I don't call myself a Zionist, but yes, you can probably classify me as a Zionist. You don't want to befriend me. You want to say that I'm actually committing genocide or supporting genocide? Go ahead. Fuck off. Okay? It's not my business. Okay? I got my reasons to believe in what I believe in. Okay? And don't go and conduct provocations thinking that I won't fight back. That I won't delete you and block you. That's what we had, that sort of fucking friend. Okay? So, and one thing was that when I became an Orthodox Christian, the thing is I was a Christian for quite a number of years. From different background. I was baptized in a Bible Presbyterian church, so the Reformed Calvinist thing. But and I was never really much of a Presbyterian, if you ask me. But when I became an Orthodox Christian, so the whole thing with that particular friend, you can sense the vibe. Honestly, you can sense the vibe when someone doesn't really like certain things you do. But the thing is this: why should I let someone decide based on his or her likes or dislike what I do or don't do? That makes me no different from what was happening with the narcissist last time. I can't pursue my interest in Korean pop culture and everything. And you give me that kind of face. That kind of very ugly face. It's a very ugly face. The person now is working in the fitness industry. I don't give a damn fuck about the fitness industry, okay? I don't give a damn fuck, okay? These people, I'm sorry I'm swearing, but these people really have no morals. So why should we even try to please everyone? We can't please everyone. That's the first thing. Not everyone is on our side. Okay? So, the second thing is this. So the first thing is like, there's nothing wrong with, not having friends who just screw with these people. Second thing is this. You don't need to forgive people. Okay? I know that people have been saying, oh, you know what, you need to forgive them so you can heal. No, that's not freaking true, That's not freaking true. I remember talking this with my psychologist about this. I said, I can't forgive. It's not that I didn't try. I tried. And I became suicidal. That was quite a number of years ago. I wonder if there's something wrong. I wanted to just end it all. Thank God I didn't do it. Okay. Now I realize this one thing. I deserve better. We don't have to go and do this. You know what's learned helplessness? Someone tells you that because you can't forgive these people who keep on abusing you, therefore you are the bad person. And then because you're the bad person, therefore that kind of like spiral that it sends you down into. And I realized that, and then I said, can you imagine? I told someone, this friend who was a Christian, I said, can you imagine you're being raped? Okay, you know what the word is, okay? I can't say it because of YouTube will, the algorithm will just being raped, you're being violated, you're being essay, whatever, okay? And then people tell you, forgive the people, reconcile with them, okay? And then tell them, turn the other cheek, go on, keep on doing it. I won't do it. Screw you. So you don't have to forgive to recover. Honestly, you don't. In fact, I kind of realized this one thing. One thing I realized is that when I was in, I think it was 20, because they always say that it's been almost like 9 or 10 years since that thing. So since that narcissistic situationship or whatever, they always say that the first 2 years after that thing ends is always the point for recovery. But that was also when things like the essay happened, essay by another person. And that was the thing that led me to spiral to try to take to have ideation to end it all. But one thing I realized, that was in 2018, and that was the beginning of change. I realized, what? Trying to forgive people, it got me nowhere. I wanted to end it all, my life. Why should I do that? Because of other people. And that I think is the anger. The anger I had. I really was so angry. I can't explain it. I didn't take it out on anyone. This is the difference between us empathetic people and narcissistic people, because narcissistic people take it on other people. We empathetic people, we don't take it on other people. We can't bear to. You know what we do? We take it out on ourselves. Okay. Then I realized in the point of it. The point. I didn't tell my that time I was in Korean Presbyterian Church. I didn't tell my pastor. I was doing stuff like I was trying to look for a job, everything, new jobs, going overseas hopefully to get a job. Which I didn't get in Taiwan. It wasn't a very high-paying job anyway, but although it was a university job in the a professor or something like that. But you know what? Forgiveness gets you nowhere. Sometimes it actually can cause you to spiral, because it actually brings up certain things with the shame complex. This is the irony. I'm going to disagree with people who say, oh no, narcissists are really down there with shame. No, the narcissists I've met are really, really shameless. Okay, they keep on doing it. They want to get a response from you. They keep on pushing buttons so that they can break and crumble, because they're shameless. And then we, the victims, the survivors, we have this idea that, is there something wrong with us? Some kind of guilt, some kind of shame that we feel that we're not good enough. And then we feel that we are the ones who feel shame, in a different way. Okay? It's not toxic shame, just shame. Okay? So the thing is this, you don't need to forgive, Even the psychologist told me this one thing. She said, you need to forgive them, you want to recover. Okay? especially the things he did to you. She was the one who actually stood by me and said, you need to make a report for yourself to recover, to heal, because it's not just for your own sake, but for the people who have also been violated and assaulted, and whom we've got to make that record there, so that next time when there's more records, the police can be forced, okay, to actually open up the further investigations, and instead of acquiescing to all this money, all this authority, all this power from people. So these are kind of things that really, that kind of, I said I'll never forgive them. Some friends were laughing, saying, haha, what's so funny? You love your abuser, you are a sucker for abuse. Needless to say, those people, I don't really talk much with them anymore, because I realize that they are just full of their own little bullshit about forgiveness and everything. They know nothing about abuse. They think that it's fun. They think people exaggerate. Okay, so you don't need to forgive people to recover. The anger is in fact what will actually, it will actually prompt you to want to do further work to recover. And I think that was when things started changing, honestly. I remember that 2018, that was when I started having things like extra work, and I mean, all these are still ad hoc work, but it's okay. Even if it's a steam economy or whatever, or the gig economy, I had money. I went back to visit Australia again. I did different things. Going back to Korea again at the end of the year, 2018 and 2019. All these different things. These things are things that if you never really experience that kind of anger, the desire to want to recover, the anger and hatred at these people, wanting to break free from them and everything, you'll never recover. Okay? Because you're still in this trauma bond where we wish that they would change. You know that they don't change. Okay? And then the one thing is the third thing. Okay, third thing. What's the third thing? The third thing is this. The abuse you went through. The narcissistic abuse. Okay? It's not just a psychological case of someone having a bad day or anger issue or some whatever psychological disorder. Okay, it's not. Okay, the person has has immorality. Okay, immorality. I really mean immorality. They have immoral values or lack of values thereof. They will trample you down, step upon people as a platform to get to where they want to be. You are nothing to them. Okay. I hate to say it, but yeah, we are nothing to them, because it's not a case of just a psychological issue. It's a moral issue. Okay, I know that nowadays in clinical diagnosis and everything, they basically remove the whole 19th century paradigm of moral insanity. What's moral insanity? Insanity is the idea that you keep on doing some things that are not right, or that are not deemed by society as right. But you see that it's really good for you. Okay. What makes you different? I mean, it's no different from psychopaths who go around, like for example, Ted Bundy, goes around destroying the lives, taking them, from girls that he didn't even know. And that was like, to him it was so good. He relished every bit of it. Or even Hamas executing every Jewish hostage, or some of them are not Jewish, even Jewish hostages, but executing them. But before executing them, recording them down and broadcasting it. That's the degree of evil. So, you know what? Narcissistic abuse is not just a psychological thing. It's not a psychological problem alone. Psychologists said that they themselves said, some of them said that, it's very unlikely to change. There can be positive behavioral modification, but the problem is that all these people don't see themselves as having any issues. The abuse has worked for them for years, sometimes even decades. And when you're in the kind of state where you see it's like a cult, it's basically a cult. when it's worked for them, why would they want to change? That is also why narcissists always end up they go to, maybe under some circumstances they are being forced to go to therapy. Like maybe there's a final ultimatum from one of the person in their lives. That could be a partner, could be a family member, a friend, whatever, and then they say, okay, I'll go to therapy. But then after barely a few sessions, they'll drop out of therapy. And if they don't drop out of therapy, I mean, the worst case scenario other than motorcycles, the worst case scenario other than them dropping out of therapy is that they start gaslighting the victim, or even manipulating the therapist. And some therapists are not very astute. I hate to say it, yeah. I hate to say it. They get manipulated by the narcissist or the psychopath or sociopath. And then they end up siding with them. I mean, in the worst case scenario, some of them even have affairs with them. Yeah, time to actually expel all this and fire all these psychologists and psychiatrists who do that kind of stuff. To have emotional affairs with all these narcissists. With possible capital punishment. Actually, I don't think capital punishment is enough. They're destroying the soul of other people, or breaking the soul and spirit of other people. But okay, that's just me, but the thing is, this it's not just a psychological or mental issue. It's a moral issue, moral and spiritual issue. They don't have values, and the values that they have are intrinsically opposed to life. Okay? Yeah, they are opposed to life. The opposite of live, when you flip it around, you realize live, L-I-V-E, life. Okay? L-I-F-E, which is like a verb as opposed to the noun. The opposite of live is evil, E-V-I-L. Yeah, it's a moral issue. Every bit is a moral issue. And there's nothing to do with politics, whatever. Some stupid people saying, all men are narcissists. Or these people are rage baiters. Or that, this way will help you, being a feminist will help you to fight narcissists. And if the feminists are themselves narcissists. Okay. So, no, it's a moral issue. It's really a moral issue. Because these people are people of the lie. So, once you come to accept that, I don't think that you can see it the same way. You won't see it as just a case of going, oh, you know what, I should go to a therapist or get some counselor. Maybe they can help me to improve the relationship. There wasn't even a relationship to begin with. You're just nothing but a toy for them to use. A stepping board, okay? Don't be so naive. Okay, I was that naive last time. But now I'm like, okay, when you wake up, you really wake up. Okay. Anyway, these are the three things. Okay. So, yeah, the three things basically. Yeah, I hope everyone has a good night anyway. So I'm gonna go back home. Everything I do just to start picking up stuff and get ready for tomorrow and everything for the new week again. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm still I'm feeling a bit full, but I think I'll be okay. I will just need to take some walking. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So there are three things. One, some people really are not on your side. Okay. Don't think that because they're always smiling you that they're on your side. They don't necessarily want the best for you. Two, you don't need to forgive to recover or to thrive. Okay. It's bullshit. Three, narcissism is not just a psychological issue. It is not, okay? It's a moral issue, moral, spiritual issue. But one which the clinical community sort of like shelved it apart after the 19th century. Okay. So anyway, that's it for now. Okay, have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.